Hey, I was trying to do a Facebook Live just a while ago. I just could not seem to get this one going, so decided let me try another way. So, alright, I'm inside the RV this time, and I had a thought, something that I learned from Dean Jackson, who is, his theme is basically real estate. He's a real estate guy. However, get this down. However, he's also been he does some work with personal coaching as well. So I was listening to one of his videos a while back and reviewing it now, and it made so much sense to me, and I've tried to apply it in all my ways. So what I do is I think of my customer relationships. I think of all of the people I deal with in 3 units. And those 3 units are the before we do business, the introductions, meeting everybody, the during stage, which is when we're actually doing whatever the job that I'm contracted for, and then the after. So what happens after we do our business, and the experience that they have with me after. So a lot of people think of their businesses all in one way, and as a safety consultant in the safety consultant business, you can't just think of it as just, how am I going to get clients? That's a portion of it. Yes, you need more clients in order to do business and to live and survive and support your family. So that's key, and I already did another Facebook Live earlier about when you do approach people, you want to approach them at the right energy, make them feel like you care about them as opposed to you just wanting to get the work. So that's all part of that before stage, getting the actual client. So you're meeting people, you're shaking hands. In my experience, from the first meeting until you actually get a contract and you're doing work, can be up to a year in some cases. So that's all the during units. I try to give value as much as I can. So something like the Facebook Live I'm doing right now, I'm giving you value. When you go to safetyconsultant.xyz, I have a whole bunch of things there that I'm giving value for, just as I'm starting to really know a potential client or people, so they get an idea of how I am. The YouTube channel that I have, so if you go to youtube.com, type in OSHA Compliance Help, that's my business. I do have plenty of free YouTube videos there. That's all part of that before unit. Just trying to get my name out there, yes, trying to promote myself and my business, trying to add value to someone who may be a customer in the future. So the transition point between the before unit and the during unit is, now that we've talked, you've met me, and I've provided a proposal after listening to you, and now I'm giving you a proposal. My proposals are a little different than others because I have a really detailed proposals. If you do want a proposal, I do have a copy of my proposal that is free. If it's not one in the group, I do believe if you go to OSHA Compliance Help, and one of those tabs there should have a proposal tab, so you can get a free template. So that's another one of the ways I do that transition period between the before unit and the during unit. So now that I've handed a proposal, we shook hands, we've got some work. Most of my proposals, if I can, when I do, is a 50-50. So 50 meaning the client will pay half of whatever I put up first as far as the final price, so they have some skin in the game. It'll make sure that they're going to meet their obligations. It's putting me on notice to know that I have a client that I have to put in my schedule. So their 50% gets us started at the point where we make our agreement on the contract. Then the during unit also includes the work I'm doing for them. So whatever that work is that I'm doing, if it's training classes, if it's a written program, I write written programs for people, and then I could do that transaction. I'll do training on the written programs. I might even just be speaking and doing an actual webinar for someone. So I put the templates together and everything else. So that during unit keep in contact with them, making sure that everything's going well on their end, making sure that I'm meeting their needs. I truly understand what they want. Then I'll submit, especially if it's a written program, I'm going to submit a copy for them to look over. And then after they look through that copy, then we're going to get a final copy and get everything done. So that's my during unit. That's when they're actually doing business with me. The after unit, meaning when I hand them the the finished product, that's not the end of our conversation. That's not the end of me giving them value. It should be more than that. So what I'll do is I'll give them more value. I'll do a follow-up on what we just did. Maybe it's a physical audit, and I now am giving you the audit report. All right, I'll send you an email a little bit later. We'll give a call. We'll see how it's going. How is the changes that I suggested being implemented? Here's some resources that I found that could help you out. And that's where you build what a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people in the business will call the know you, like you, trust you. That's coming in that after unit portion. So you'll get a little bit of that between the before unit and the during unit when you're actually doing your project, but a bulk of that where they really like you, they value you, they become a fan of you, you're giving them extra value. That after unit is very important, because then you'd like to see where you could get a 4x value on every relationship with your client. Meaning, if I do business with them January of 2018, before we get through 2018 and into 2019, I like to do at least one other job with them, and then 2019, 2020, do another job with them. So that relationship would be 4x, 4 times in value. So it's not just a one transaction, it's going to be 4 transactions with them. You could even ask, hey, you loved the work I did? If you did, please, would you refer me to someone that you're working with? Because especially owners, they have groups that they work together, owner to owner. Even if they're having one person who is a networker, they may actually look and see, all right, well, I like what Sheldon's doing. I know you can help this other person. They may be my competitor, but they're also a friend of mine. Sheldon, you can help them out. Or here's some people in church that I go to and, help them out. So that's how I try to get that relationship. And each client, each potential client, each contact, each business card I get, I'm starting that process. Each time I shake hands, every time that we come to a face-to-face, where that process is starting. That before, that during, that after process keeps going over and over again as a cycle, and that's how I build clientele, and that's how the business becomes viable. I just want to add value as much as I can in the before unit, keep adding value, but quality work when I'm actually doing whatever the process that we are engaged in business, the during unit. And then that after unit, that component, let's keep giving you some more value. Let's make sure that you understand the work that we did, and how can I help you in the future? Ask those questions, and that's how the before, during, and after units work together to keep your business viable, just to help you. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit more coaching, just virtual coaching as much as I can for this. And if you do have a comment, if you yourself has experienced something similar to this, please add that in the group. This is going to be here for posterity's sake, so everyone could get a good understanding of those units. And that's really what a coaching call with me would be, especially if you're in that safety consultant mastermind group. I do these coaching calls for the annual members, and we'll just go through some of this, in more detail than what I did here, but we'll just go through some of those things to keep your business growing. But this is some value for you. I hope you appreciate it, as well as I hope you get something from it and your business grows. Happy New Year.